Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a Lego set. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego to the site, the tier 2 blue emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, you can go ahead and lurk. That's also okay. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. It's a Monday, and I didn't have a normal stream on Saturday. I started early. We went to like 10:30. It was a nice long stream. I worked on a Lego set. Hey, Lord Crashton. Worked on a Lego set. I played a couple video games, a new video game, and then a game I've been playing quite a bit. A game that I've streamed before, and also I play on the daily just about. And we hung out. It was a nice time. Some funds were raised, continuing to do that. I am currently at 77% of my goal, I believe. I'm going to go look. Well, actually, this is an easy way to find out. I just hit this. Yes, 77% of my goal, which is great. And I will be doing another one of these, and it'll be a Friday soon. Not this coming Friday, but the next Friday. I'll do one because I got to try to get to 82%. If I can get to 82% by next Friday, that will be very good. And then I will try to continue to raise funds to go for that, but trying to get to 82% there. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. What's on the agenda for this evening? Lego assembly. Now, before I get into starting the new kit, I do want to start with just to show, because not everybody was here on Saturday, I understand. Go over to the overhead camera. This is what we worked on Saturday. Oop, there goes Celeste. She fell right off. This is the first ever for me Animal Crossing Lego set that I've ever constructed. So I did have a fun Celeste here. Happy to have her join the squad. This is a fun little build. This took me like an hour. It would have been nothing on a normal stream, so it was fun to do because I like doing some kind of small build, make it a real variety stream of the different kind of stuff, not just play games. This next one that I'll be doing, the fourth fundraiser, I have a few ideas of what I can do there. I have a small build that I can do, I think like a toolless build that I can do for that. And that's been fun to do those. We are using the Lego and brick building category here, which I forgot to do on Saturday. I think I just did like build a regular building, but yeah, we're doing that tonight. I just want to show off. This is the thing that I built on Saturday. It's cute. It's fun. It's going over here. Because tonight we will be working on the Lego 3-in-1 Tropical Toucan. And we're going to start with the Toucan. Now, this set is on the bigger side, and basically the instructions for two of these kits is just open all the bags. And the first kit, the Toucan, is, or the first option is open this bag. Bag one. So we are going to start with the Toucan and go in order, and we'll open the bags one at a time, and we'll do some knolling, making sure the bag is empty. This is a pro tip from me to you. It's always good to make sure that's empty. You can even keep it aside. And so I'm just going to do a fairly quick job of knolling. I'm just going to get the pieces together because we will use almost every piece in these three bags on this one build. So I don't have to do, I don't have to do too much here, but I want to do a little bit of organizing because it'll make my life easier. But the Toucan will take most of the pieces, and then the butterfly and the tropical fish will take less of the pieces. Sometimes the third build is like nothing. And then every once in a while, they stop doing this. They did this for a bit, where there'd be a secret fourth build, and that would not be an instruction manual. That would be through the website. And so I would get like my iPad out and have the PDF there. And that was, I think, to entice people to go to their website and go through that and get ideas and then maybe purchase kits. And they seemingly abandoned that plan, which I think is a shame because I think that was a neat idea, having the bonus fourth build. Like there's something to be said for, wasn't it kind of cool that there was a fourth build, but also like, well, you still have to go to the website. If they ever choose to redirect, then it's gone and yada yada yada. So like I can understand some people are like, maybe you take this Lego set to a cabin in the woods and you don't have good internet and you didn't know ahead of time that there was a build that you would have had to download ahead of time, right? Like there's probably a thing, you know, like, oh, the internet's out. I want to build this Lego set. Oh, I can't finish this fourth build because I don't have internet. Like, I get it. I can see I can see a scenario where you are feeling frustrated with Lego. I can see it, right? Not making excuses, but I see it. All right, so this first bag is mostly black pieces, some white pieces, and two gray pieces. So we'll know that there, and then we'll put this over here so we can get at it when we need it. Nice and easy. Lemon squeezy. I hope you're doing well out there on the old internet. I'm doing fine. I had a pretty fun weekend. My voice was not super happy with me on Sunday, but I did manage to do a little tabletop role playing with some friends. Haven't done a longer game in a while, so that was nice. And then watched some wrestling that evening, a charity event for Jeff Cannonball. Indie wrestler. It was a really fun event. It was you can still watch it. It is live on the GCW YouTube channel, and you may have seen some viral content from that because there was a wrestler dressed as Alf competing in a battle royal, and the winner of that battle royal was another wrestler dressed as Jeffrey the Giraffe from Toys R Us. It was good and silly and weird and goofy. It was a good time. There were some real great matches and a bunch of clusterfuck nonsense. And it was a good time. Yeah, a bunch of money was raised. There were a couple surprises. And it was a good little time. But yeah, they did some auctions and stuff. And it was good. My buddy Remy, friend of the stream, Remy, went to that event. So we got a lot of good pictures came in. I watched that last night because I was doing some work and then some D&D during the day. And it was a good time. Real good time, everybody. I also did a bunch of lawn care this weekend, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Got to get up on the ladder. Got the weed whacker out to whack some of them weeds, and cutting back some stuff. And then so I did that, and then I went and had to climb a ladder into a tree to trim some branches on our big palm that were starting to die, so we had to cut those off. And then also there was a few of the we called them baseball bats, the big growths on the tree, just really tall, giant growths that were coming up. Because when those start to bloom, they attract bees. And then eventually a bunch of like things that are like the shape of like crab apples fall out of the trees and rot. And then those stink and then also attract more bees. So you got to get that when you can. It's just very frustrating to get up in that ladder. Wore a long sleeve shirt so I didn't cut up myself, which meant that I was sweating a lot. All right, so I need the longer one of these. I don't need the short one. I need the long one. Get that there. In the second hour, for the pause for the cause, after the pause for the cause, we'll talk about some anime watching, get caught up on what I watched over the weekend. And I'm going to have to use my notes. And then I did watch the most recent episode of Ruri Rocks, but I took once again, I have stopped taking good notes on Ruri Rocks. I just write down yeah, this happened and she said this and she's anxious about this thing. And then we learned a lot about these kinds of rocks. I don't know. I'm starting to feel a little, did I miss a piece? I did miss a piece. Yeah, I've been feeling a way about that show. Yeah. It's all right. One thing that happened that I was pretty psyched about. This is very small and really only matters to me. Somebody left a comment on one of my Kuma Baer videos from last year, and I was pleasantly surprised. It was on the Star Driver.
I'm Pat
Whoops.
Baer. And
oh no, you're going to hear me. I clicked on it by mistake. You heard me talk. Sorry about that. I might have talked long enough that might come up as any one of my Kuma Baer videos. I didn't mean to click on it, but I'm Pat Baer. God damn it. I wanted to see when this was posted, and I clicked the wrong thing, and it showed up. But anyway, yeah, I posted this like a year ago, and then someone 3 months ago posted a comment on it, and then somebody 5 hours ago posted a comment on it, and that's just weird to me. Let me see if I can. Yeah, June 26th, 2024. And I don't know, I don't know why that one's getting views. I mean, it's good because people are seeing them. Maybe they'll hit the follow button. Maybe they'll watch other Kuma Baer videos. The one that I put up this week, or this past Wednesday, did very well for me, which is nice. On My Isekai Life, an anime where I couldn't find a good animated GIF of it. Turns out I still managed to get people to watch the video of it. So that's good. I was happy about that. But yeah, you never know. You never know what's going to hit with people, what's going to work. Because like I said, I think I found that anime titles that are not my native language don't always do well for me. But like, I don't have real proof of that. Who the fuck knows? But that's just my gut based on some of those videos not doing particularly well for me. But I don't know. No idea. All right, we'll click that there. Click that there. You know, I can only look at the data, and then the data doesn't give the biggest, amount of information. And then there's been the last month, like YouTube views are just down dramatically for everyone. And nobody knows why. And people thought it was some kind of weird change in age restriction, but that's a thing that's been there for a very long time, and it does affect people, but very few people have the age restriction turned on because it's off by default. So people don't really think that's actually what has been affecting people, and we don't really know what it is, like what's actually happening. YouTube says it's that the people are viewing it, but the views don't count because of ad blockers, which feels like, nah, man. I'm like, a lot of people do watch YouTube on desktop, but like this is not accounting for that, and that doesn't explain why mobile views are down. Right? It doesn't explain why mobile views are down at all, which they are. Mobile views are down for a lot of people. So like, nah, that just feels like gotta rig the system against creators. Yeah, lore crashing, like literally, it could be a thing that they're doing. That certainly could be what's happening, but nobody really fucking knows. It's just like a change could have happened, or no change could have happened. It could be people getting off YouTube, which feels a little kind of less likely. But it could be a way that YouTube in the back end changed how views are accepted and recorded, which YouTube says they haven't changed, but who the fuck knows? Like, yeah. One thing it could be is in a variety of places, and this is not a thing that happened a month ago. This has been happening for several months, but I pay for YouTube Premium, right? I am one of the suckers that pays for YouTube Premium. But you have to understand, from my point of view, the money that YouTube Premium costs is totally worth it for me because I watch YouTube all the fucking time on my phone and on a monitor on my computer. I primarily watch YouTube, both live streams and just regular videos. Like I watch a lot of YouTube, so for me it's totally worth it. Also, YouTube Music is my preferred music player, music streamer. And so that's included in it. Totally worth it for me. Not worth it for you? Totally understand. Worth it for me. That's what I go with. But it used to be that if I watched a YouTube video on like Twitter or Blue Sky or Discord, I'm logged in. I wouldn't see ads. Now I see ads. And so I have to, instead of playing a video on a social media channel, or a Discord channel, I have to then click the video to watch an ad, which I don't want to do because I pay to not watch ads, or I have to click on it to open it up in a browser to then watch it without ads. And I'm wondering if that is negatively affecting people that pay for YouTube Premium to watch less videos. Like incentivizing people to be like, I don't really care enough. I don't need to watch this. You know, and music videos, for a long time, they would do the thing where you couldn't watch it in bed. You have to watch it on the YouTube channel, which always felt weird, but whatever. But I do wonder if that is affecting views, is that there is an element of people. Now, obviously, most people who watch YouTube watch with ads and suffer with ads. A smaller percentage use ad blockers, you know, the variety of them that work and constantly update. And when it doesn't work, they complain. A small percentage of people pay for YouTube Premium. I don't have the numbers, right? But I have to believe that more people watch YouTube with ad blockers than pay for YouTube Premium. And then below that are people that use stuff like downloaders, right? Because it's complicated and annoying. People that use like various downloaders to rip YouTube videos to then watch locally. Because it takes time and it's annoying, but it's also great because one, you don't get ads. It's just nice. And then two, if you have a shoddy internet connection, you just need to worry about the download. The download could take a long time, but once you download it, you have it, and then you don't have to worry about sudden internet connection interrupts, which is nice. If you want to use the technology, which again is annoying to use and figure out, I do think it's pretty great. And as somebody that pays for YouTube Premium, so I don't see ads, there are still long videos that I'd prefer to just have a copy of so I can watch it locally. Also, on the rare instance when my internet goes out, oh boy, you gotta believe it, I really love when I have a local version of a few things to watch in case the internet goes out. I always like to have something as a precautionary measure of just like, okay, I have this, now I can watch this whenever I want, and it just works. It's really great to have that. Let's talk about the Nintendo Direct that happened last Friday. Didn't talk about it over the weekend, said I would talk about it on stream tonight, so let's talk about it. Some cool stuff got announced. Some stuff that's not super interesting to me got announced, and some stuff that isn't necessarily interesting to me per se, but is really weird got announced, and I'm excited about weird shit because I like weird stuff. So yeah, we'll talk about it all. There's a new Mario movie in development. Chris Pratt is coming back to be Mario. It's the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I think that's pretty neat. I am a little surprised that they've jumped to that of all of the stuff, but it was a franchise that, two games that people really liked, and who knows, maybe there will be a third game before the movie comes out or alongside the movie. Who knows? But yeah, kind of cool. Gotta get our feathers on here. Also, if you're somebody, maybe you didn't play Galaxy and Galaxy 2 because you didn't have the console or you weren't alive then, well, don't worry about it because Galaxy and Galaxy 2 coming to Switch. October 2nd. You can see there. And apparently, there are some new amiibos coming. Which I've never owned an amiibo, but cool. Mario Tennis Fever is adventure mode, and that is coming to the Switch 2 on February 2016 or 26. I should say 2016. Jesus, Pat. I did in theorizing what could be here, what a new Mario game could be announced. I did theorize a tennis, or I thought Mario Strikers. I thought they'd do another football game because football is so popular worldwide that felt like a safe bet. But another tennis game, I mean, hey, let's be honest. It's because Waluigi only exists because of the sports games, right? Because they needed a partner for Wario. And so we all owe a lot to the Nintendo sports franchises, and particularly Mario Tennis. So thank you, Mario Tennis. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is getting a Switch 2 edition. Bunch of new content coming, and that's coming out in spring of next year. Don't know much more than that. And there's a whole thing about this fucking flowers that talk randomly and stuff. It's nonsense. This is all bag 1. We've done all bag 1. It's time to open up bag 2. Will we completely finish this Toucan on this stream? I don't know, maybe. I don't know. But we did get through the first bag. So we're moving on to the second bag, which is smaller. Third bag is bigger than the second bag. Save these bags. All right, so let's do some proper knolling here. Let's get all our pieces together and organize them so we can find them nice and easy. We'll get blue over here. Get all the blue pieces we need. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. New Yoshi game. Love. Look, I don't own a Switch or a Switch 2. But I do like watching streamers play Yoshi games. Always have. And we got a new puzzle game, or environmental puzzles. Yoshi dealing with this book and trying to solve some issues going on there. And it looks it's not actual stop motion, but it looks like they're aping that style, and I think that's cool. Lord Crash says, I wish Jeff was talking over the direct so we could get mad by a Yoshi game announced for Mario's anniversary. I mean, I don't think that would make him mad, Lord Crashington. I mean, unless he was fake mad, but I don't think he'd be actually mad about that. Is it true that there is a Yoshi game he doesn't think is particularly good? Yeah. But I don't think he hates Yoshi and would be mad about that. Now, are there people who are legitimately mad to see a Yoshi game? Yes, I'm sure there are. I don't necessarily think Jeff would be one of them. Who knows? We'll hear tomorrow. He will talk. He obviously didn't talk over it, but he will talk about it on the podcast recording. He will talk about the direct, and maybe he will be mad about it. I don't know. But it feels like he wouldn't be. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but it feels like he wouldn't be particularly mad. But he might be faux mad. It's coming out spring 2026, so we got some video games coming out to the Switch too. One in February, 2 in spring. Storm Lancers, which is got some fucking couch co-op, side-scrolling platformer coming to the first Switch, and then maybe it'll come to Switch too. But turns out a lot of indie devs do not have Switch 2. They can't work on it. They don't know. They don't want to put it out and find out it doesn't work on Switch 2. Dinkum. Y'all, ever since I watched this presser, Friday evening, I watched this. I've been waiting since Friday to say on stream, Dinkum. Dinkum comes to the original Switch, Switch 1, November 5th of this year. It is like, I don't know, it's a survival sim that looks like Tomodachi Life. It looks like Mies in a survival sim. Lastford says, it's nice to see Australia get their own Minecraft. And Lord Crash says, Dinkum, Dunkum, Dankum. Yes, fair Dinkum. Lashbrook, fair dinkum to Australia for having their own Minecraft. Yeah. Yeah, it looks fun. I don't know. It's called Dinkum. I'm look. I don't know if she will, but I'm really hoping that VTuber Hakos Bells, aka Bay, an Australian VTuber for HoloLive English. I hope Bay plays it. I hope Bay plays a game called Dinkum, and she doesn't think it's weird that there's a game named Dinkum, and then her audience, who is primarily not from Australia, is like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "Fair Dinkum." Because despite being on the internet for a very long time, and what appears to not be a joke, she seems to constantly not understand when people don't understand her accent or don't understand Australian words that nobody else knows. And it's fucking great that she seemingly consistently messes up. She could be taking the piss, and I just don't realize it, but pretty good. Papucom is coming to the Switch this holiday. It is a third-person shooter puzzler, and it is multiplayer only, which is kind of interesting. It looks real cute. I bet this is the last time I think about this game, but it looks real cute. I don't know. It seemed fun. I hope it's good, because it seems real cute. Tomodachi Life, living the dream. Tomodachi Life, living the dream is spring 2026, coming out to the first Switch. And obviously, you can play all these on the Switch too. But it's coming to the Switch. I know that some people were like, look, I understand third parties doing it, but why is Nintendo putting out games on the Nintendo Switch instead of the Switch 2? And the answer is very easy to give you. And it's a very simple answer. And that answer is, there are a lot of people that own the Switch. And some of those people will still buy new video games. And they aren't going to upgrade. Maybe they will upgrade someday. But they aren't going to upgrade anytime soon. But they still play their Switch. And so if Nintendo makes a game for those people, they will sell copies of the game to those people. Maybe not necessarily this one, but it makes sense for not just third parties, but also Nintendo themselves. Oh my God, sorry, I gotta scooch my chair in here. But also Nintendo themselves to continue to support that. It makes total sense to me why they would do it. And then, let's see. A brief segment here about some partner stuff. And when those games are coming out, and release dates. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, Switch and Switch 2, October 30th for digital, physical December 12th. So the delay in that, if that's how you prefer your games, is to be the physical games. It's going to be a delay there. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is coming out Switch 2 on January. Linked Banner of the Spark is out. That came out at the day of the presser. Kirby Air Riders with new amiibos are coming on the Switch 2 November 20th this year. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is coming to Switch 2 November 6th. And Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is coming to both the Switch and the Switch 2 February 5th, 2026. So some games still doing the Switch 2, some games Switch 2 only. There will be new games coming out even if they're not Nintendo, first party, there are going to be some games coming out the end holiday season that should be interesting to some people. If you only own a Switch or a Switch 2 and you want to get the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, I don't know if that's going to be a good time, but it's a time. You could do that. It could be your big December game if you want the physical. But honestly, of those that were listed, I would say Hades 2, I bet doesn't run great on the Switch 2. I'm just going to, or in the Switch. I bet Hades 2 is not going to run great on the Switch. I'm just going to say that. Maybe it will. But it's Kirby Air Riders. Kirby Air Riders, I bet, is going to be awesome for the Switch 2 in November. I bet that's going to be optimized to fucking hell. To heaven, I should say. Nintendo Today app has a Kirby theme. It looks cute. And then... coming to the Nintendo Classics line on the Switch and Switch 2 are Virtual Boy and to play those games on the Switch and Switch 2, you want to have the new Virtual Boy accessory, which looks a lot like the old Virtual Boy. And then you can dock your Switch or Switch 2 in there. And there will eventually be a cardboard version. If you remember that Nintendo for a brief period there was really into cardboard, you can get a cardboard version of it. And that's fucking weird. It's just weird. That's coming out in February. The fact that you can use it on the Switch and the Switch 2, it's very funny to me. It's just fucking weird. I don't know what to tell you. The fact that there are a couple very rare Virtual Boy games. And this will be, I assume, pretty good emulation. Who knows, but I assume it'll be pretty good. It's just so fucking weird that exists. It's going to exist, and that's so weird. It will be very funny when this outsells the actual Virtual Boy. Yeah, it's likely. It's certainly likely, at very least in some territories, it will outsell it. Who knows worldwide, but like, yeah. And there will be parts of the world where this will be the first time they've ever had the Virtual Boy, like, in their region. It's very strange. And I have to assume the reason why it's happening is because Nintendo wants to sell accessories. And somebody in Nintendo must have pitched, what about, like, the cardboard version of Virtual Boy? And they were like, let's save it for the Switch 2. It's just such a wild idea that I must make clear, I think is fucking great. Not having a way to play it on TV in or handheld mode without expensive shells is disappointing. Lord Crashing it, I don't know how you would do it. Lord Crashing, I just don't fucking how could you play Virtual Boy games on a TV if they are trying to emulate the actual experience of the games? Like, I don't know. I don't know how you would do it. Like, I understand that I'm sure somebody has figured out a way to do that, but I don't know how you would. They're weird 3D, you know? Also, I should stress, they're terrible. They're bad experiences. They're a bad time. As someone that has played 5 or 6, I cannot remember the exact number, I have actually played the Virtual Boy. Because, of course, my childhood friend Chris Kohler owned one. So I have played it. And they're terrible. It's a terrible experience. But I don't know how you would do it regular. I imagine that someone is going to figure out a way to do the cardboard version. I imagine someone is going to DIY their version based on the cardboard version, and therefore it will not be expensive. I bet there will be somebody who will figure out a way to do it. Eventually. A remake of Fatal Frame 2. Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly. Remake is coming out sometime in 2016. I am certainly not a horror game person. But I do respect Fatal Frame quite a bit, and I've been told that this is a good one. that this is a good one there. Yeah. More partner stuff. One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 is coming out this fall for Switch 2. Overcooked 2 is coming to Switch 2 this holiday. That will sell very well, I imagine. Stardew Valley coming to Switch 2 in the fall. I bet a lot of people, people own Stardew Valley in a variety of places. I would probably say that console is not necessarily the way to do it, but and maybe it makes more sense to play Stardew Valley on your Steam Deck. But I also feel like there will be a non-zero. I forgot. I missed a step here. There will be a No, I did do it right. Never mind. There will be a non-zero amount of people. The cardboard version is just a cardboard wrapped around a plastic lens set. Yes, but I think people will DIY the plastic lens thing. Is my guess. Is that people will figure out a way to mimic that, is what I'm saying. I'm sorry if I wasn't clear on that. There will be people that will DIY their own versions of it based on the cardboard. How? I don't know. People are inventive. I trust them to figure it out. Working on our claw. Human Fall Flat Nintendo Switch 2 edition, spring next year. Yeah, there's some sort of weird interference on your mic, says Lashbrook. All right. Well, what I'll do is I will unplug my microphone and plug it back in, and hopefully that will help the issue. We'll see. So I'm going to mute my mic for a second and try to fix that. So, okay, we'll see. Check. Hopefully that this will fix that issue. Thank you for letting me know, Lashbrook, and my apologies. I don't. Now, some streamers have themselves, they have their monitors, their headphones, have themselves talking. I don't do that because I don't like how that makes my brain feel. So I don't do it. So I do rely on folks. I only do it when I'm trying to balance game audio, and then I turn it off because I don't like it. But I apologize for that happening, and hopefully this will solve that issue. We'll see though. But thank you for letting me know and keep me posted if it gets if it continues to be wonky or weird. Seems good so far. Okay, well, good. Power Wash Simulator 2 is coming out. 4-player online co-op, 2-player couch co-op, which I think we knew about. I admit that I have not kept super close tabs on the development of Power Wash Simulator 2 because I just want to plug and play the video game that's coming. It is coming to Switch 2 in the fall, but of course I will be playing Power Wash Simulator 2 on the PC, and I look forward to doing so. It's gonna be good. It'll be a good time. All right, so this goes in like this. Got a claw there, and then eventually that's just gonna go like that, but we don't do that yet. Now we do the same thing, but to other way. Hooray. Sukiya Game Planet. It's a puzzle game, like moving fruit around puzzle game that looked kind of cute and kind of fun. I don't know. Disparagingly, it felt like a phone game, but maybe there's depth to it that I didn't see in the trailer. And so maybe I'm being an asshole. Metroid Prime 4 is coming out December 4th, 2025. Metroid Prime 4 has a release date. It is coming out. It's coming to the Switch and the Switch 2. I think some people were surprised that it's also coming to the Switch when it very clearly was originally intended to be a Switch game, and then things happened and it wasn't a Switch. Just, now it's out when the Switch 2 is out. But that game is looking pretty fucking cool. And Samus is on a fucking bike, and that's awesome. And there also is an amiibo of Samus' bike. And that seems pretty fucking rad. You ask me. There is DLC came out, which some people were complaining about the price for Donkey Kong Bonanza. Got some DLC that came out. DK Island and Emerald Rush is a paid DLC for Switch 2, and it's out there. I have heard good things about that DLC. And I look forward to watching some people play it who are, when they want to take a break from Silksong, because it feels like, while that's not probably the world's biggest overlap, the streamers I watch are still doing the Silksong thing and are not ready to take a break to go back to older games or games they played previously. So maybe that's not every streamer, but that seems to be a bunch of the streamers that I pay attention to. But eventually, I'll get to see this DLC. Up there. Pokemon Pokopia. I hadn't said that out loud yet. Pokopia. You're a Ditto, and you're pretending to be a human. And you're trying to make a cool place for Pokemon. And it's one of the first ever Pokemon things that brings up the possibility that Pokemon maybe don't need to be captured and live in Pokeballs and be people's pets and fighting monsters. And maybe they could just fucking chill somewhere. Now, obviously, there have been plenty of games that have Pokemon safaris and stuff like that. But even in the Pokemon Safari, you go in there to capture Pokemon or to fight Pokemon. So, like, this is just a chill place for Pokemon to be chill. That sounds pretty good. I don't know. It seems pretty neat to me. That goes there. Which piece? This piece goes like this. That. And then this goes like that. And then... which piece is this one? That? Alright, I think that's how that goes. Hard to tell here. Yeah, okay, I think it goes like that. Alright. I think I'm doing this wing right. I assume this is a wing. It would be weird if this wasn't a wing. Flip this over. Get this white piece here. Pokemon Legends Z through A is coming to Switch 2 on October 16th, 2025. And then Pokemon Legends Mega Dimension is DLC. And that's weird, right? We don't know when that DLC is coming out, but why did they announce DLC for a game that's not out yet? But they did. It feels very un-Nintendo to be like, there will be DLC. I don't know. I don't know why. It's just strange. I don't know. It's cool, but it's weird. Hey, I don't give a shit about I said it wrong. Damn it. I don't particularly care about Danganronpa. When I try to say it, I just say the way that ProZD says it, as a comedically, as an insult. Dongo Bongo. When I see Danganronpa, in my head sees Dongo Bongo. And so that's not professional of me to refer to that as Dongo Bongo. But Dongo Bongo 2x2 Goodbye Despair is coming out sometime next year. It is a re-release of Danganronpa 2. I heard Angry Beaver's character Daggett. Danganronpa. Dongo Bongo. Yeah, it's just, hey, there's going to be a remake of a Dongo Bongo game. And I know that these games hit hard with some people. For some folks, fucking forget anything else. Forget any other remake or anything else that was announced. Oh shit, a remake of Danganronpa 2 is out there. Holy shit. That is all some people needed to hear. And you know what? Good for them. Dynasty Warriors Origins Switch 2 release and DLC is coming to Switch 2, and there's some DLC there. January 22nd, 2026 for people that are looking to play that on your Switch 2. That's when you can. Monster Hunter 3 Stories 3 Twisted Reflection, I should say, not Reflections. Reflection, which is a good name. That's going to be out March 13th. And then more partner showcase stuff. This was a long direct. This is the longest Nintendo Direct, apparently. But they had some shit to say, and they did say it. So, got more to talk about here. 2 Point Museum coming out October 28th. Disgaea 7 Complete in October. EA Sports FC 25. Switch to Switch 2, December 26th. Virtua Fighter 5 Revo World Stage coming winter of this year. They said, give me some more money. Yes. Lego Voyagers coming on the Switch October 15th. That looks pretty good. Pretty cool. Little Nightmares 3 October 10th. And Persona 3 Reload is Switch 2 October 23rd, 2025. If you are looking for a portable way to play your Persona 3 Reload. If you gotta reload it, you can do that. Then, so I gotta do this here, and this here. All right, we did that. We did all that. That's ready. And then this goes here. Oh, wait. I did this wrong on this one, so use my nail for that, because that would be hard to do with the brick separator. We do have the brick separator. I got the brick separator in case I need this. I'm going to have to need to separate bricks because I'm going to have to turn this from a Toucan into another thing. So I will have to disassemble it at some point. So, and then this goes here, and then these go on here, and then we got that, and we got that, and then we will get through bag 2. Resident Evil Requiem. It's coming to Switch 2. That is on February 27th, which is also the same day as Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8. That's a lot of Resident Evil games on the Switch 2. I mean, I imagine there will be some people fucking psyched about this. But yeah. Resident Evil Requiem looks pretty fucking cool. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. That was the, like, one more thing kind of thing there. As people were, I did see a lot of people freaking out about that. There's a lot of Fire Emblem fans out there, and they seem to be pretty stoked about that. So happy for them. Gotta get the, oops. This was bag 2. Goes like that. Now we need bag 3. We do have some extra pieces, which is always nice to have. And then we need to open up bag 3, which we'll do here. We'll take a pause for the calls in a bit. Talk about ways you can support the channel and all that. But right now, we'll focus on knowing our third bag, which also has a bag inside of it. It's a bag with a bag. Lots of colorful pieces here. So we got to sort all that. We got to make sure our bag is empty. It is. We're good. Make sure our bag is empty. It is. We're good. But yeah, a lot of stuff there. Couple quick hits. Local Thunk basically did a blog saying sorry that there's been a delay on the 1.1 update for Balatro, and it most likely is not coming this year. And then basically was just like, yeah, shit's hard and it's tough, and I don't want to put out shit that I'm not happy with, and I don't want to crunch, so it's going to take longer. Took a break from everything to do with the game for a few months until the start of 2025. He is committed to do more Balatro, but he's not going to hit this deadline. He wants to make the best version of the work. And an approach that avoids burnout, makes me want to come back to my keyboard every day healthy, and hopefully just excited about game development 5 years from now as I am today. Which, like, obviously, yes, Ghost Valve, 100%. Hi, Ghost Valve. 100% good for them. I am thrilled that they are in a position where they can make a choice like that, where they can say, you know what? I'm going to fucking take it easy. And because I want to keep making games. They are in a financial position to do that. And they are hopefully in a place where they can disconnect from the internet enough to not deal with people who are fucking aggressive about that shit, about wanting the thing they want for the game that they played a lot. And they are, quote unquote, owed. I don't want 1.1 to be the last update this game gets, which I think is fucking reasonable. But also, you know me and how I think about these kinds of things. Like, it makes sense that I would be like, fuck yeah, take your time. I love Balatro, but like, you know, I want that update to be good, and I also don't want that update to come out and him being like, and I don't want to work on Balatro ever again. Like, I don't want that. So if that's how we get Balatro, is him, is Local Thunk taking their sweet ass time, then like more Balatro, then like, okay. It's done when it's done. And then not only drawing silly jokers, I have a notebook, is teaming with ideas to implement and test in the game. And he does. I think he is honest in this. I don't think this is like a him coming down on players, but he said, Balatro players, the Balatro player in me will absolutely not allow me to walk away from developing this game. And I think that's just like, yeah, like, you know, like I don't think that's supposed to be depressing. I think that's just him being like, he still likes the game he made. And so he wants to make more of the game that he made, which is awesome. So, you know, like I said, we don't know when we're going to get Balatro DLC, but we will at some point get Balatro DLC. It'll happen. Just gotta, you know. I did see somebody comment on this, that with Silksong finally out, now it's like, well, when are we getting the Balatro DLC could replace that as the thing gamers won't shut the fuck up about? And I hope that's not true. I hope that, like, Balatro DLC just, like, appears and people are just like, oh shit, yeah, fuck yeah. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about other things. Like, I hope it surprises people. I don't know if it will, but I you know, I'm being cautiously optimistic that people will give Local Thunk the space they need. Who knows if they will? One last thing. A lot of people are having optimization issues with Borderlands 4, to which I say, you're the one that fucking bought Borderlands 4. That's me being an asshole. I know I'm being an asshole when I put it that way, but they did buy Borderlands 4. But like, yeah, no, you buy a game, you want it to run well. It's frustrating if it doesn't. I understand it, even if I'm like side-eyeing you and your purchase of Borderlands 4. Randy Pitchford fucking sucks. And did Randy Pitchford make every part of that game? No. But Randy Pitchford fucking sucks a whole lot. Just saying. Just saying. Also, Randy Pitchford's out there tweeting, and he shouldn't be, and he should be paying someone to stop him from tweeting. But people are just like, some people are happy with it, and then other people are like kind of pissed about the fact that you really need a high-end machine to make it run great. And then so he was like, Randy's like, well, I think it runs optimally. And people should accept trade-offs to get it to work. It's just like, okay, dude. Should they also get a second job to be able to afford it? Like, fuck off. But also, if you're building your game around the idea that your user base or your audience is going to use DLSS to like, and you're like building on that and not building games around the idea that like some people will and some people won't. Like, I think that's just a fucking like very easy L. That's like just like a low, like you're just really like shooting yourself in the foot by going that way. That's just my opinion. Yeah, because apparently the game was built to take advantage of DLSS. And also, he said it's acceptable for devs to focus on default settings, reaching only 30 frames per second. And then people were like, well, which is it? Is it that they should use DLSS and then also that people shouldn't complain and use low settings? Like, why are you saying both of these fucking things? Like, what the fuck? It's just a lot of fucking Randy Pitchford bullshit. I mean, that's just the long and short of it. It's just a lot of fucking bullshit out of Randy's mouth because it's fucking Randy. Digital Foundry said, Borderlands 4 does seem to be running worse than usual for an Unreal Engine 5 game. It is below where it seems like it should be given how other games use this engine perform. And apparently Randy was like, there are updates coming. We'll put updates out. Don't worry about it. We got you. And then also, of course, Randy was saying that performance issues aren't as widespread as some people would like you to believe, because, of course, it's a fucking conspiracy. It's not just that there are people who are very unhappy with the game. It's that there's definitely a conspiracy afoot to make you think that it's not performing well. And then, there's some devs out there that are basically just like, well, if you're relying on upscalers, then, like, you're fucking up. Because what if the upscalers start working differently? Or people, don't want to use upscalers. I almost missed a piece here. So let's not fuck that up. Put that there. We need a orange peg here. And we need this here. That's about it. On Thursday night, we'll talk about the All Out. We'll do an All Out preview. That'll be the big chunk of Thursday. Right now, between pre-show and the match, there are, and the main card, there are 11 matches, 10 of which are on the main broadcast, only one so far for the 0 hour pre-show. pardon me, it's not called Zero Hour. It is I forget the fucking name of it. But there is a name for it. It's like the fucking tailgate party or whatever, because it's going to be on TNT. But yeah, there are 10 matches on that card and 1 pre-show, which is too many matches. It's just too many matches. Just too many matches. Excuse me. Like one of the, like not even all of the belts are on the line, and it's just like, hey, I love Eddie Kingston so much. Eddie Kingston versus Big Bill. I don't know why that's on the card. It'll get a bunch of pops. I feel like that should probably be the 0 hour, and I love Eddie, but Kingston versus Big Bill. I don't know why that's on the pay-per-view. That's a main event of Collision to me. And again, I love Eddie. I'm happy Eddie's cleared and is coming back. Feels weird. Feels like a weird thing. That's just me. But it feels weird. Eddie Kingston versus Big Bill just on a pay-per-view feels odd. But anyway, I still have plans to run my stream at 9 p.m. because I think that show won't be 6 hours. I think the main card won't be 6 hours. And it's starting at 3 p.m. Eastern means I can start my stream at 9 p.m. Eastern. Maybe I'm naive, but I think that'll be okay. What I'm saying is I might start the stream late if it's not done at fucking 9 o'clock. But I think it will be. We'll find out. Anyway, now it's the part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you about ways you can support the channel. I am going to do a truncated version of this because, of course, there's not too many here tonight, and everybody that is here is a member, a subscriber. So if you are a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in chat. Being a subscriber, easiest way to support what I do here. Should mention, I didn't put it in the title. It's September. It's September, everybody. If you want to gift a sub, you can do that, and you can save money on that. And then between the 26th and October 1st, there'll be bonus gifts, so that would be nice. But if you want to gift a sub, you want to become a subscriber, you can save money. Gifting subs is something you could always do. It supports me quite a bit. Consider becoming a subscriber. That would be rad. Love that for everybody. There, I put it in the title. It's in the title there now. I'll just go through a few things. Like I said, I'm not going to go deep into all the ways, but I'll mention that I have a Patreon. I just put up my schedule on the Patreon, so you know my schedule for the rest of September, so you can check that out. There will be a poll at some point for patrons about what I start building, I assume on Thursday, because I think on Thursday I'm going to have to start something new, so I'll do a poll either tomorrow or Wednesday about what I start on Thursday. I don't have anything new for the poll, but whatever. I have a backlog of stuff. I have a YouTube channel. Consider becoming a member there. I'm so close to have $100 in my AdSense account, which will mean that I can then buy some model kits with that money, and I will. Of course, if you want to make a direct donation, you certainly can. And everything I make through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And direct donations, of course. And I pull money out to buy model kits and equipment and Lego sets. I bought this kit. So this Lego set that I'm currently working on, we're working on the Toucan. I was able to pick that up because of your generosity. Past you is helping out present me. So thank you very much. I have a, hey, I got an Amazon wish list. I'd be happy to build anything on that list. If you would like to decide what I build next, you can buy something from my Amazon wish list. Sort by custom if you wanted to be order there. Inexpensive Lego sets, expensive Lego sets, model kits, free shipping, not free shipping. I recently added the Lego Botanicals Happy Plants building toys. This is just a fun idea of it's like some Lego plants, but the pots for them are like little friends. They have little faces and arms and stuff. And it is very fucking cute. It's very cute. I've never seen this line before. I've seen Lego Botanicals, but I've never seen Happy Plants. The plants aren't happy. It's the plant holders. The pots are happy, but it's still a really fun idea. And that recently got added to my Lego set, my wish list. If you'd like to see me put that together. I don't have any Lego in my backlog other than I'm currently working on. So if you want to buy some Lego so that I can build that and have more Lego to build, you can do that. My alternative to Amazon is Throne. I got to update that. It's been a while. My apologies for not keeping that up to date, but no one has ever bought anything for me off my Throne wish list, so I'm a little lazy about it. And then the most convoluted way to support me financially is to go to USA Gundam Store and buy a gift card. You can send me a whisper on Twitch or a DM on Twitter or Mastodon or Blue Sky with a gift card code that you get from going to USA Gundam Store and buying something there and spending some money. You know, it's a way to do it. That is a way to support me financially if you are so interested in doing so. You do that. If you want to support me but not spend any money, you can join my Discord. We'd love to have you there. It's a real chill time. You're welcome to hang out in the Discord. Let's see. Today, I put up a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club, which I would love for you to watch. It is actually technically an episode of Surprise, Pat Bear's Manga Club. That's right. Pat Bear's Manga Club is the premier way to watch me talk about some manga. And I've got another episode about weird manga premises. Just like real weird manga shit. That you should check that video out because I think it's really good. And some of these premises are fucking weird as hell. So watch that. Also, I think the thumbnail's real good. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. I'll have a new episode out on Wednesday. But this most recent one, which came out last week, is me talking about my isekai life. And it got a bunch of views, which is nice. So watch that video. All right, I'm going to talk about The Water Magician and Secrets of the Silent Witch and Ruri Rocks in a moment. Before I get into the anime talk, which again is coming, I am going to go to the overhead camera dramatically, and I'm going to drink some water, and we're going to do that right now. Lord Crashington says, there's this manga I saw about a boy with a tail that thinks his grandpa's spirit is in a big orange ball. Yes. If that was the only thing you took from... Yes. If you describe Dragon Ball as that, and not it's an adaptation of Journey to the West, but about summoning a dragon... Sorry. That came out of nowhere. Sorry about that. I didn't have time to mute my mic. But yes, if you were like, it's an adaptation of Journey to the West. It's the Monkey King. But also, I made Dr. Slump, so you know this is going to be weird. Then yeah, I would say if you only said that description, boy with a tail that thinks his grandpa's spirit is in a ball that he keeps because his grandpa kept that ball. And found that ball and kept that ball. Yes. I would say. That sounds fucking weird. Anyway, I think all those anime premises or manga premises are strange. You should watch the video because I had fun making it. And also, it's my first in a very long time, Pat Bear's Anime Club, with my background removed. And I used a manga pages background, like a comic book manga style background for that. And I'm going to have a few different backgrounds that I rotate through depending on what I'm talking about. Now, obviously, the next episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club will have the background of Annie Chart because it will be recorded live next Tuesday on stream. The next episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club will be recorded live, and it will be my summer wrap up and my winter preview. Sorry, fall preview. Let me say Summer wrap up, fall preview. That is what's coming. Because we're getting close to the ends of some of these anime. Speaking of which, let's talk about the anime. Because right now, oops, I gotta delete this stuff here. Delete that. There we go. Right now, we're getting into we got episode 10 of one of these, episode 10, and episode 11. Ruri Rocks almost over. We'll have to bring back Manga Mondays. But we're almost done with Ruri Rocks. Episode 10 of The Water Magician. I don't know if this is... Actually, you know what? This is a good thing. I haven't looked at this. I haven't looked at any chart to see if we got 12 episodes or 13 of these shows. So let's do that. Let's do summer 2025. We'll do title. And then we will look up these. Let's see. Water Magician is 12 episodes. So Water Magician is 12 episodes. And then Silent is 13 episodes. So Silent Witch, we're getting more. We're getting one more episode of, but we are almost done. Episode 10 of Water Magician. Really, to me, emphasize the fact that, oh yeah, this is a manga, right? This is a light novel manga. The anime adaptation, to me, we went from he defeated a demon prince, like something that possibly someday would evolve into the next demon king. It's wild that he defeated that so easily. And now it's like, okay, well, now let's go to a port city and deal with a bunch of stuff that I bet won't be solved that quickly. We're also at the point now, I haven't read this stuff in the manga. We are at the part, and the anime is caught up to the manga because I've been reading it as the volumes come out. And so I'm waiting for the next volume, which again, obviously isn't out yet. So I'm at the point where I'm just like, oh shit, I don't know this stuff. But they only have 2 more episodes after this. But anyway, Whitnash, we're skipping a bunch of kind of like him dicking around in this area, having a vacation, which I think is fine that we're skipping that, but we are skipping a bunch of that stuff. So it's a bunch of fun. He goes to Whitnash. Nils, Ito, and Amon named their party Room 10, which is the room they stayed in at the guild, and so that's fun. That's a fun, easy name, but symbolic, means something to them. But they're Room 10. So they head out, and basically they had to escort. The idea is this is punishment for him doing some shenanigans. Even though he saved a bunch of people's lives, he entered the dungeon without permission, so now he has to go. They had to escort the merchant to this festival, and then they have to escort the merchant back after 9 days, so they're just dicking around. But a bunch of things are happening behind the scenes. There is the commander of the emperor, who is a princess, was sent there, and maybe that's because he's doing something in the capital, and this is just like to set her aside. There are people that are probably there to attack Fiona. Fiona's brother is there. And there's a moment, her brother is there. Also, the Inferno mage is there. This guy who's well known for like burning people alive and in the war, and is just like known for being really strong. And there's a moment where Abel and he walk past each other, and both have a moment where they instinctively like distance themselves, and it's like it's a cool moment. It's a cool moment, or like probably maybe the best moment in the whole thing, of them just being like, oh shit, like they can sense that there is somebody strong around there, which I found very interesting. Let's see what other happened. Conrad, who is the brother of Fiona, is also around and thinks he recognizes who Abel is. I'm gonna sneeze again here. Yeah, it looks like, wow, weird. Hold on, sorry. We opened up the windows today because it wasn't super warm. We have the air on now, and I don't know why the windows are closed, but suddenly my my goddamn allergies are kicking up. 2 sneezes and 1 stream. I apologize. We're almost done with this goddamn toucan, so that's cool. This thing's looking great. Look at this. Look at him. Boop. Bark. 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 We're going to work on this side. Get this toucan face going here. Do, and do. All right, so we got to do orange, yellowish orange, tealish. This piece here. Yeah, let's see what other happens. Let's see. Rio. Oh, we do cut back to the town that everyone lived in, has been before, in Loon, where we have Sarah the elf. Apparently, Rio didn't tell her that he was going to be gone for this long, or he was going to be gone at all, which is a shame. Now, you know, it's casual between the two of them, right? But she was doing some research to go help him out, but he neglected to tell her that he was going to be traveling for so many days and wouldn't be back, which is rude. This show is not a harem. There is no romance stuff. The closest is that, like, it's clear that she has some amount of feelings for him, but that's the only indication of that. And it was mostly just for comedic effect. All right. Go like that. And now we need to build the base. We'll use this piece, which was not in the bag. And we'll get the base for our bird. Our bird base. Let's see. Yeah, there's a whole thing. There's a whole thing of them doing some, there's like a boat that's powered by magic. And in the manga, they spend a lot of time on this fucking boat. And there's like a race that's a whole chapter. We didn't get any of that. We cut a lot of that stuff out, it seems like, to get to the next big fight, which I think is fine. But, you know, there was some stuff that was neat in that we're not getting here. But yeah, there's a boat that uses magic to power its sails instead of the wind, which is kind of neat. And there's a festival. A bunch of people are still around. One of the characters buys a repeating crossbow so he can be a better ranged person, and that might come in handy because it seems like assassins are around. Because there is a party where Abel actually kind of accidentally ends up meeting Princess Fiona from a neighboring kingdom, and then some men show up the house clearly to go attack Fiona, and so there will be a battle for sure. Will our guy Rio get involved in this battle? One would assume that Rio will get involved, maybe accidentally, maybe on purpose. Who knows? But it seems like it seems pretty obvious that he'll get involved in it because, you know, he's the main character. All right, so this goes like this. This goes like this, and then this is pretty cute. Little perch for our bird. Little bird perch. Little bird perch. And then this goes on these like that. Oh, that's really neat. I really like how this looks. Anyway, I still really like Water Magician. I didn't love this episode because it's a lot of setup. Because if, you know, oh, when this goes on like that, ooh, it doesn't snap in to allow for a movement for it to come on and off. And that's cool. I like that. And it does keep the bird up. And then we got to build... looks like we're building a big flower here with some of our remaining pieces to kind of finish this off. So we'll add a little more to it, make it look cute. We have a flashback in episode 10 of Secrets of the Silent Witch. At the end of the last episode, one of the one of the seven sages was like, I can't see a future for Felix, Prince Felix. So that's fucked. That's the person that Monica is currently secretly bodyguarding. 2 years ago, Monica was attending Minerva's Mage Training Institution. So that was that she was, she has been a strong, capable mage, but she wasn't always that. So she was in training, and apparently at that time she had been bullied, and because she couldn't do long magic spells because her like she just doesn't like talking in front of people, so she couldn't do spells, which then allowed people to easily bully her. But there was a guy, Bernie Jones, which for a fantasy, anime and manga, like, is such a like American name. It's a very good American name of Bernie Jones. I like it a lot. He's a count and a noble. And he was the top student, and he taught her how to use quick chanting magic, which eventually she became so quick that she doesn't need to chant at all. But it did definitely help her out and allowed her to continue on in the school. In the present day, we are now dealing with, let's see what we got here. Sorry, I gotta get these on like this. This is how it goes. Looks neat. Bunch of students are chosen as representatives for a chess tournament. And one of the schools they're facing is Minerva, which she attended previously, and it might be very difficult for her to keep up her her undercover work if anyone from that school recognizes her. So it's like, ooh, so our girl, who is a nervous wreck a lot of the time, is rightly nervous about this one. I would say this one is completely reasonable for her to be like, ooh, I don't think this is going to go great. I think it's completely fair for her to think that. Monica then remembers in another flashback thing, learning enchanted magic. And when she learned it, she was dragged to the Seven Sage meeting, and she was appointed one of the Seven Sages, even though she fainted because the responsibility of doing that overwhelmed her. Which, like, I was like, it is a funny thing to think about. Like, hey, how did this girl that only learned how to do chantless casting, like, how did she end up one of the mages? Like, she's strong, but how did that happen? It's because they interviewed her to be one. They just wanted her to do it. They made her do it, basically. She got conscripted, basically. And it's just like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. It's odd for episode 10, but there is 11 episodes, but episode 10 has so many flashback stuff in it. And unfortunately, her first real friend, her friend at school, Bernie, the guy that taught her quick chanting, their friendship ended because he was really fucking jealous that she did so much better, that she jumped ahead of him in chantless magic, that she is, she's a better mage than him and faster. His jealousy caused their friendship to fall apart, which sucks. It's a real bummer. Nero and Reisenbeld have become they're now undercover as well to help Monica get through the tournament. And Lana helps Monica out, trying to make her seem different by like working on her posture and changing up her appearance slightly, because they know that Bernie will recognize her. And so they're trying to not have her cover get blown. Now, could they have just used some way to cancel this tournament? Yes. Or figured out a way to make it so that Monica wasn't a representative of the school. Yes, but that's quitter talk. Instead, you've got to make an awkward situation happen. Bernie does show up. He is a representative of one of the other schools. He does think that maybe something is suspicious about Monica. And the solution to getting him to go away is to show up, is for Nero and Reisbill. I haven't said this name out loud. Is Rizbenfeld. Basically, the two of them show up, and they act like they are two people who are both in love with Monica, and that she's involved in a love triangle, which clearly the real Monica would never be in a love triangle. And apparently that works. Now, is that going to work long term? I don't know. I just realized. Hey, so there's something that has to go into this to be the stem. The stem of this flower is a sausage. This is a sausage piece. This is a piece that sits in as a sausage, and they just made it green. That's a fucking sausage, y'all. It's a sausage. This is like when they used the blasters from Star Wars as like other things in builds. And it's just like, oh, that's a blaster though. No, that flower stem is a sausage. It's a sausage. Get the wings up here, get the mouth open a little bit. I'll show it off in a bit here, but here's how the bird looks sideways. It's great. It's a great bird. This toucan fucking rules. Let me just tell you. This tropical toucan, out of sight. We got one more thing to build, and then it's done, and then I'll take a photo of it, and then I'll start disassembling. Or the frog bonsai tree. Yes. Ruri Rocks. We hear a little bit about Ruri's actual school life, which we don't usually get much of because it's mostly about trying to find rocks and get rich via rocks. So we do learn a little bit more about that, and that Ruri can't decide what elective courses to take. We learn a lot about thin slates because Yoko makes some and examines them with a polarized light. And then Ruri uses that technique on sapphires to learn about how they were formed. And then they go out on the hunt again. And this time, Ruri is looking for crystals, the host, like where the crystals came from, like the rock that came from. And uses some testing with an acid to find calcite. See, I need this. And if you're wondering what I'm doing right now, I'm making a piece of watermelon, a slice of watermelon out of Lego, which is great. This is just a really fun idea. This is a fun thing of like, hey, we have some of these pieces that we need for the other things. What can we do with some of them? We could make a slice of watermelon for the main build, because we have a couple of these that we'll need. Or it could be that none of these pieces here get reused for any of the other things that we're building. The fish and the butterfly might not use any of these pieces. Which is very funny to think about. That the watermelon could just be in everything. But they might get used. Who knows? Watermelon slice. Oh, I can put the watermelon slice in the bird's mouth. That's stupid and great. This bird is eating a piece of watermelon. I'm now going to pick up the bird so you can see that this bird is eating watermelon. I love that. I love this stupid fucking toucan. Tropical toucan eating a big piece of watermelon. How did he get a slice of watermelon? How did they do that? Where'd they get that? They take this off a picnic table? They steal it from somebody having a little picnic? I don't know. No idea. But they're real good for doing so. I applaud them for their ingenuity in getting this big slice. The last thing I'll say about Ruri Rocks is there's a story about a shrine with sapphires and a bunch of stuff. And then Ruri decides at the end of the episode that one of the elective she's choosing is Earth Science, which is, of course, related to what she's been doing and is probably a good choice considering that she's into it. And maybe has a leg up. Who knows? Anyway, I am going to take a photo of this and then I'm going to start disassembling it so that we can start working on the either the butterfly or the fish. I don't know which one, but we do have to disassemble. I have to take a photo and we disassemble. So I should say, basically the other two are like, okay, so have all your 3 bags open because they expect you to build this one first. Have your 3 bags, have the stand that wasn't in a bag or that piece that wasn't in a bag. So I do have these, but I am just going to take a photo of this and then I'm going to start sorting. Now is the part of the stream where I'd like to hear from you. What are you up to? What are you into? What'd you get into this weekend? Did you play any video games? Did you read anything? Watch anything on TV? Did you watch the Oscars? I didn't, but I watched some clips of some winners talking about stuff, but I didn't watch anything from the Oscars. Go Jeff Hiller. I love you, Jeff Hiller. You're one of the best. Police Chief Rumble, which was Jeff's improv team in New York. PCR forever. Jeff Hiller won, and I'm really glad for him because he's phenomenal. He is now the 3rd person that I did comedy with that has an Oscar. The first being Donald Glover, the second being Paul Downs, Paul W. Downs, who was I was on an improv team with Paul, but he won. He didn't win as an actor. He won for executive producer for Hacks. And then this year it was Jeff Hiller. And I'm really happy about that. But yeah, if you reading anything, watching anything, listening to any music, there's a new song out for Creepy Nuts that's really good. You should check that out. Creepy Nuts does a lot of anime themes and is a fucking very fast goddamn rapper. He's very fast and talented. But yeah, Creepy Nuts has a new song out that's really good, and it's like a minute 40 and unbelievably frenetic. It is so like there are so many fucking words in that song. It's really good. But yeah, if you got anything going on, I'd love to hear it. I always like hearing from you about that kind of stuff. I am going to now start disassembling this very good build. Even though I kind of don't want to disassemble. Look, I'll tell you this right now. If I have the parts to rebuild the watermelon slice, I'll rebuild the watermelon slice. I'll definitely do that if I have the parts for it. I don't know if I will. I'll tell you that yesterday I mentioned I did get some tabletop role playing in with some friends, and that was really fun. Probably more on that later because I don't think we're getting the band back together vis-a-vis having a regular game. But some people that haven't been playing in a long time missed playing and have been talking about wanting to play more. So we might get more often. I don't know. Might get together more often, and that sounds pretty good to your friend Pat. What else was I going to say? I was going to say something else, and I don't even fucking know what. I got an email. Let me see what that email says. Got a post here. Sorry, there's a poll I can vote on. And I have voted. I have voted on apparently the most popular one because I'm very good at that. Sorry, there was a poll that I could vote for something. It's nothing important. But yeah, I want to hear from you, friends. What are you up to? What are you into? What do you got going on over the weekend? The full weekend, because we didn't talk about that stuff on Saturday. So if you played any games that you got going on, you go to the movies, you reading anything you want to chat with me about. I always love hearing from you about those things and things. So please consider letting me know what the deal is as you get into shenanigans. For years friend, like I said, obviously Hearthstone, still playing Hearthstone. Tomorrow I'll be playing more Hearthstone, so you can see the 2 decks that I'm playing constantly. Like 2 or 3. One deck which is a real degenerate deck that when I start doing the combo, people quit. They don't want to play against me, which is fair. It is a scumbag behavior deck. I don't think they've patched it. They might, there's still a chance they might patch a Hearthstone literally tomorrow, because Tuesday is often patch day. There's a chance that deck won't work tomorrow. So I do kind of want to stream it before it gets patched to hell and can't work. But I do have a standard deck that I really like that I wouldn't mind showing off as well. And then I have another nonsense deck that I've been playing that I'm not good at, and is not really a good deck, but it's fun. So I've been playing this goddamn egg deck. So I'll show that off on stream tomorrow night as well, because I think it's very fun. And I think you'll like the silliness of me playing that deck. Lashbrook says, I rewatched Die Buster after watching the Kyoto video. Video on Gunbuster. It's a very different thing, but I still like it a lot. And because of the Michael Caine news, rewatched The Last Witch Hunter, still really like that dumb movie. I haven't seen The Last Witch Hunter in a long time, but I can understand why you'd be into it. I am going to mute my mic and go. I have to blow my nose, and it's just gonna be gross. So I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna mute my mic, and I'll be back in just a second. All right, and then go back to main. Sorry about that. I don't know what it is. My allergies are just almost immediately once the stream started, really hit me. Maybe it was the fact that the window was open today, but it didn't affect me until the window was closed and the air conditioning was on. So I don't know. I don't know why that happened, but it did happen, and I don't like it. Lord Crashton finished watching the first season of The Paper, and it's really nice. Avoids the slow start of The Office pretty well. Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that. I mean, I pay for Peacock. I have Peacock for till May of next year, something like that. So I pay for Peacock. I just haven't watched it, and I probably should watch some of The Paper. I probably will. I probably will see that at some point. It does sound good. I'm trying to get through some shows that I passed on that then turned out to be pretty good. There's a bunch of shonen this season, some of which is really solid, some of which is it's all right. I'm mostly disappointed with the second season of Sakamoto Days, but Kaiju number 8, second season is really good, so that's nice. I'm trying to just there are some shows I'm just not going to watch, right? When we get to next week, there'll be some stuff that I'm just not interested, don't have any thoughts on this, sorry, didn't watch it. But there are a few things that turned out people are pretty psyched about it and think it's pretty great, so I would like to at least be able to talk about it. Also, I got to do my Kuma Baer for next month. I have to have 5 shows to talk about. I don't have to, but I do. I will talk about 5 shows from this current season that I liked. And I also caught up on this weekend. I spent some time getting caught up on With You and the Rain, which is just so fucking adorable and stupid. It's so dumb that she thinks that's a dog. It's so dumb that anyone thinks that's a dog. Because it's clearly a fucking tanuki. But the Tanuki is such a good pet and such a good friend, and it's trying so goddamn hard that it's totally great. The suspension of disbelief is off the charts for that show. But I really like it. Lysander's asked if I saw the Demon Slayer movie. No. I have not. I have not been to a movie theater since I saw Sonic the Hedgehog. What was it? Wait. Yeah, the first Sonic movie was 2020, right? Sonic movie. Was that was that one, right? Yeah. I have seen all 3 Sonic movies. The Sonic the Hedgehog film was 2020, right? Yes. Yes. So I have not seen a movie in a theater since Sonic the Hedgehog. That is the last movie I saw in theaters. So I eventually will see the Demon Slayer movie, but it will not be in the theater. But thank you for asking. And also, hi, Lysandus. Happy to have you here. Welcome. But yeah, no, I have not seen it. I do want to see it. I am looking forward to seeing it. I love the criticism I have seen of it, that it was not enough action. Because I was like, I mean, look, there's a lot of action, but like one of the things of Demon Slayer is the action is juxtaposed with the quiet moments. There are quite a few quiet moments in that, like sometimes comedic, sometimes silly, sometimes dramatic, but there are quiet moments in that show, and it's one of the best parts of that show is the quiet moments. So to me, it's very funny to see people just be like, I don't know, it's just like, so then just took a long time for stuff to happen in it. But again, I haven't seen it. I do know what happens in it roughly. I mean, there are certainly possibilities that there are some alterations from the manga, but I have read the manga, so I'm pretty aware of what's going on. I do look forward to seeing it, though. I don't know if there's anything else again. I haven't watched much TV stuff. I watched some wrestling. We got a bunch of wrestling coming up this week. So I am looking forward to that. If folks don't know, folks that watch AW, Dynamite is 3 hours this week. So remember that is a 3-hour show. There is no Collision this week, and that the pay-per-view starts at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday afternoon, with the 1-hour pre-show starting at 2 p.m. The pre-show will only be on HBO Max and TNT. It will not be on YouTube or did Amazon Prime? Yes, Amazon Prime also had the pre-show stuff. So yeah, that won't be there. I think I'm buying the show on Amazon again. I'm going to see. I usually buy, these days I've been buying the pay-per-views on Amazon because it looks real good. It just looks really, really good. I'm sure the HBO Max will look good as well, but I don't have HBO Max. Here's the thing I didn't get to say today. Hey, Pat Bear's pissed off corner. Short entry on this one. Collision. I often watch AEW Collision on the West Coast replay because I am streaming during a full hour of Dynamite. Now, sometimes they go coast to coast, which means that it airs live on the West Coast on TV the same time as it's airing on the East Coast. And that's annoying for me because I like watching the West Coast replay, but it happens, and that's okay. So yesterday, I go to watch Collision. Error message. Not on TNTdrama.com. So I'm like, all right, well, I was going to watch some of this at lunch, but okay, I'll check it out later. Not available later. All right, well, I'm doing some stuff with friends, so I'll watch this tonight. Not available at night. Just not available. I don't know if it is available. I have not watched it. I watched clips. I watched YouTube clips. I'm very fucking frustrated about that because I was just like, well, you don't go coast to coast, you go coast to coast, so I can't even watch it, 11 p.m. Eastern to 1 a.m. Eastern, which is what I normally do on Saturdays. Couldn't even do that. Can't watch it now, and then I couldn't even fucking watch it on Sunday. I don't know if it's working. You know what? Due diligence. Due diligence. Go into TNT. I'm going to mute my desktop audio, so if it does play, it works. Clicking on it, hitting watch now, hitting play. It is working. Okay. It is working, so I could watch it tonight. Will I watch it tonight? I mean, maybe. I might watch it tonight. I don't know. I have to see what happened tonight on YouTube of things that I care about and see if there's something that's happened that I can watch the archive of or something. Or somebody uploaded a video that I want to see. Something like that. But yeah, very frustrated with that. That is the end of Pat Baer's grievances. But yes, that I had a grievance there. I was very frustrated with that because I just wanted to fucking watch it, and I would have watched it live. I mean, not live, but I would have watched the West Coast feed of it if I could. But yeah, I'm excited for AEW Dynamite on Thursday. We will talk about that. We will go through the card, and I'll give my predictions, who I think will win, and all of that. It seems like there might be another pre-show match added, but I can't imagine they're going to make it more than 10 matches on the main card. That also is just like so many fucking matches. But, those singles matches, won't get as much time as some of the other ones. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Bunch of people, bunch of good matches seemingly on the card anyway. So, that'll be good. I'm excited for it. I do like a good pay-per-view from AEW. I have no plans to watch WrestlePalooza because my cable package does not get that ESPN thing on it. And I'm not going to pay for ESPN Plus. And I'm kind of not watching WWE anyway these days. So, not planning on doing that. Oh, we have... Ooh. Sorry about that. The KPBS has dropped there, but it seems to be coming back. Little glitch in the matrix there. Sorry about that, everybody. But it seems like we're on our way back there. It hasn't really come back that much, so actually that's bad. That's not great. Now it's bad. It's coming back. It's not great, but it's higher than it was. But yeah, sorry about that, everybody. That does happen on occasion. Things just start looking kind of shitty. I will finish taking apart all of this and getting ready for by Thursday's stream, because that'll be the next time that we start working. And on Thursday, we will build the butterfly and the fish, the tropical fish and the butterfly. We'll build one, disassemble, build the other. I will run a poll probably on Wednesday for what I should start when this is done, because I don't know if that'll take the whole stream. It might take the whole stream, but I don't know for sure. I feel like it probably will. So I will run a poll on for my $10 patrons about what I should start next. It'll be all model kits, because that's all I've got. I don't have any Lego sets left to build here. No, I have one Lego set in my backlog, but that is a Halloween build, which we will build on the 30th, right, of October. Yeah, October 30th is a Thursday, so we will do a Thursday, October 30th build of that Lego set, because it's Halloween themed, and so that'll be nice. So we'll do that. But right now, what's going to happen is we are going to raid. We are going to go find someone doing cool stuff out there and go spend some time with them. I'm not sure who we are going to raid, but we'll find somebody. I mean, generally, there's one person that we raid, but I have to make sure that she is online, because I can't raid her if she's not there. Let's see if she is available. As John says, hi, John. We always end with a raid. Welcome, John. Mary Kish is playing Shinobi, Art of Vengeance, which is a great name. So we're going to go raid Mary, who's playing Shinobi, and see what's going on with that game. Reminder, as we get that raid set up, and I hope you come along on this raid because Mary rules and it's great. A reminder that my next stream is tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, and I'm going to show you some new cards from the mini set, from the most recent mini set from Hearthstone. Part of the most recent expansion. They had the mini set. There were some new cards. I have one deck that is just toxic and shitty, and I'm playing it, and it's great. But I understand why people hate playing against it. And then I have one deck that's stupid but fun. And then I have a standard deck that is just silly. And sometimes I win and sometimes I lose with it. And I like both. I don't mind losing with that deck. But we'll play that. We'll play those tomorrow. We got 3 decks to check out, and then some classic decks I might throw in just for fun. But thanks so much for being here. I hope you come along on this raid. I hope you'll come back tomorrow for some Hearthstone. If not, see you on Thursday for more Lego. Thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.